So off he went up the little ladder and popped his head out of the hole in the cloud to see if the land of Topsy-Turvy was still there, or if it had gone. There was nothing there at all, only the big white cloud, moving about like a thick mist. Moonface slipped down the ladder again. Topsy-Turvy has gone, but the next land hasn't come yet, he said. We'll have breakfast and then I'll look again. Hello, there's Silky. Stay and have breakfast, Silky dear. I came up to see how Joe was, said Silky. Yes, I'd love to have breakfast. It's funny to watch Joe eating upside down. Hasn't the land of spells come yet? Not yet, said Moonface, putting a kettle on his stove to boil. There's nothing there at all, but Topsy-Turvy is gone, thank goodness. They all had breakfast. Moonface cooked some porridge. What do you want on your porridge? He asked Joe. Syrup? Sugar? Cream? Joe couldn't see any syrup, sugar or cream on the table. Syrup, he said. Please, Moonface. Moonface handed him a small jug that seemed to be quite empty. Syrup, he said to the jug in a firm voice, and syrup came pouring out as soon as Joe tipped up the jug. Silky wanted cream, and cream came out when Moonface said cream to the jug. It was great fun. Moonface went again to see if the land of spells had come. This time he came back excited. It's here, he said. Come on. I'd better take some money with me, I think, in case we have to buy the spell we want. He took a small bag down from a shelf, then he and Silky helped Joe to walk upside down, up the branch that led through the hole in the cloud to the little ladder. Up he went with great difficulty, holding on tightly to the rungs of the ladder with his hands. At last he was up in the land of spells. This land was like a big market-place. In it were all kinds of curious little shops and stalls. All kinds of people sold spells. In some of the shops sat tall wizards, famous for their magic. In some of them were green-eyed witches making spells as fast as they could. Outside in the marketplace sat all kinds of fairy folk at their stalls, pixies, gnomes, goblins, elves, all crying their wares at the tops of their high voices. Spell to make a crooked nose straight, cried one pixie, rattling a yellow box in which were magic pills. Spell to grow blue daffodils, cried a gnome, showing a bottle of blue juice. Spell to make cats sing, cried another gnome. Joe could hardly believe his ears. How odd! Who would want to make cats sing? Now, we must just see if we can possibly find a spell to make you stand up straight again, said Moonface, and he went into a little low shop where a strange goblin sat. The goblin had blue pointed ears and his eyes sparkled as if they had fireworks in them. I want a spell, said Moonface. What for? Asked the goblin. I've a spell for everything under the sun in my shop. Very powerful spells too, some of them. Would you like a spell to send you travelling straight off to the moon? Oh, no, thank you, said Moonface at once. I know I look like the man on the moon, with my big, round face, but I'm nothing to do with the moon, really. Well, would you like a spell to make you as tall as a giant? Said the goblin, picking up a box and opening it. He showed Moonface a large blue pill inside. Now take that pill and you'll shoot up high as a house. You'll feel fine. It only costs 1 piece of gold. No, thank you, said Moonface. If I grew as big as that, I'd never get down the hole in the cloud back to the Faraway tree. And if I did, I'd never be able to get in at the door of my tree house. I don't want silly spells like that. Silly? Cried the goblin in rage. You call my marvellous spell silly? Another word from you, stupid old round face, and I'll use a spell that will turn you into a big bouncing ball. Silky pulled Moonface out of the shop quickly. She was quite pale. Moonface, you know you shouldn't make these people angry, she whispered. You might find yourself turned into a bouncing ball or a black beetle or something if you are rude to them. For goodness sake, let me ask for the spell we want. Look, here's a bigger shop with a nice-looking witch inside. They all went in. The witch was knitting socks from the green smoke that came from her fire. It was marvellous to watch her. Joe wished he wasn't upside down, so that he could see her properly. Good morning, said the witch. Do you want a spell? Yes, please, said Silky in the most polite voice. We want to make our friend Joe stand the right way up again. That's easy, said the witch, her green eyes looking in a kindly way at poor Joe. I've only got to rub a walking spell onto the soles of his feet, and he will be all right. The walking spell will make his feet want to walk, and he will have to stand up the right way to walk on them, so he will be cured. Come here, young man. Joe walked over to the witch on his hands. She took down a jar from the shelf and opened it. It was full of purple ointment. The witch rubbed some onto the soles of Joe's shoes. Rimini romini reet, stand on your own 2 feet. Rimini romini roo, the right way up you must go. And of course you can guess what happened. Joe swung right over, stood on his 2 feet again, and there he was, as upright as Moonface and Silky. Wasn't he glad?